This is the 30th video in a series that explores the 101 laws of the code of the success mindset. In this video, we will study the 30th law, the law of empathy. Empathy is often treated as a soft skill, something nice to have in social interactions, but the truth is far deeper. Empathy is one of the most powerful forces behind meaningful success, especially when you're navigating financial challenges in the mature stage of life. When you learn to understand the emotions, fears, and motivations of the people around you, you open doors that logic alone can never unlock. You build trust, credibility, and influence, three pillars of sustainable prosperity. And in a world where most people feel unseen, empathy becomes a superpower. Think about how many financial decisions are influenced by human emotion. Trust determines business partnerships. Support determines career transitions. Compassion determines whether someone gives you a chance when you need it most. For people dealing with financial struggles later in life, empathy becomes essential because it prevents the isolation that drains motivation and keeps you stuck. It reminds you that you're not alone, and it invites others to walk with you instead of watching from a distance. Imagine empathy as a bridge connecting what someone says with what they feel. When you truly listen, you begin to notice what's beneath the words, the hesitation in someone's voice, the worry hidden in silence, the insecurity behind a smile. Empathy allows you to see people the way they are, not the way they pretend to be. And when others feel understood, they are far more willing to support your journey, collaborate with your plans, and trust your leadership. In the financial world, trust is currency. It opens opportunities that money alone can't buy. Consider Joanne, someone who worked for years in a large company. Her technical skills were good, but what made her exceptional was her ability to connect. She knew when her team was stressed, when someone needed encouragement, or when a colleague needed someone to simply listen. That made her a natural leader. When she became responsible for a major project, people followed her not out of obligation, but out of loyalty. Her empathy transformed her work environment into a place where creativity flowed, productivity grew, and results came naturally. Her success wasn't built on competition, it was built on connection. Now think of Robert, a colleague of hers, brilliant, focused, and determined, yet deeply alone. He believed success was a solo race, ignoring how his actions affected others. He delivered results, but constantly found himself fighting against resistance. People avoided working with him because they didn't feel seen or respected. His victories felt empty, because without empathy, success is cold. It lacks meaning, fulfillment, and legacy. When it comes to improving financial life later on, empathy plays another crucial role: self-compassion. Many people punish themselves for past mistakes, debts, lost jobs, failed businesses, wrong investments. Without empathy toward yourself, you stay trapped in emotional debt. But when you learn to forgive, understand, and heal, you free mental space to think strategically. You stop reacting emotionally and begin acting intentionally. This shift alone can change the trajectory of your financial future. Empathy also helps you navigate relationships that affect money, family conversations about budgeting, boundaries with children, discussions with a spouse, difficult talks with clients. When you learn to listen without rushing to judge, you build bonds that survive the stress of financial pressure. You become someone others want to help, support, and invest in. And in the marketplace, emotional intelligence is often more valuable than degrees or experience. To cultivate empathy, the first step is to practice listening with your heart. Don't prepare your response while the other person is still speaking. One of the biggest barriers to success later in life is believing you already know everything. Growth requires humility, and humility requires empathy. When you adopt the mindset of a student, you begin to learn from every conversation, every expression, and every emotion displayed by the people around you. The second step is to remove judgment. Everyone carries invisible battles, financial worries, family problems, health concerns, emotional wounds. When you approach others with curiosity instead of criticism, you create psychological safety, a fundamental element in high-performance environments. This is especially important if you're rebuilding your financial life because support networks thrive where judgment dies. The third step is extending a hand in difficult moments. Empathy is not demonstrated by words when things are easy. It is proven by presence when things are hard. By doing this consistently, you create reciprocal loyalty. People naturally want to help those who once helped them. Financial opportunity grows in environments of mutual support. The fourth step is building trust-based relationships. Money flows toward trust. Clients return, partners invest, employers promote. If people feel they can rely on you, your financial life changes dramatically. And trust isn't created by promises. It's created by empathy-driven actions. The fifth step is practicing vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is emotional courage. When you open up about your challenges, fears, and lessons learned, others feel safe to do the same. That transparency creates deep connection. In business, connection is influence. After a certain age, many fear starting over. Many feel ashamed to ask for help. Pride becomes a cage. Empathy breaks the lock. It reminds you that growth has no age limit, prosperity has no expiration date, and success tastes better when shared. Empathy also helps you identify opportunities. When you understand what others need, you can create services, solutions, and partnerships aligned with real demand. The best business ideas are born from listening. Many thriving careers emerged because someone noticed a problem others ignored. Empathy sharpens your perception, making you financially smarter. And finally, empathy changes your internal environment. Anxiety decreases when you feel supported. Motivation increases when you feel understood. Confidence grows when your relationships are healthy. This creates mental clarity, and mental clarity is essential for making wise financial choices. As you continue on your journey, remember, money solves problems, but empathy builds futures. Money pays bills, but empathy builds partnerships. Money can give comfort, but empathy creates meaning. If you want prosperity that lasts, invest in people. Not manipulatively, but authentically. Because the greatest opportunities often come from the hearts you touched on your way up. Success is not a lonely mountain where one stands alone. It's a landscape of bridges, handshakes, and shared victories. When you practice empathy, you transform the way you lead, negotiate, communicate, and grow. You stop pushing people away with pride and start attracting allies with compassion. And allies accelerate your financial evolution. As you reflect on your next steps, consider this. Who around you needs to be heard? Who needs a word of encouragement? Who needs support without advice? And how can your financial journey become not just profitable, but meaningful? Your life is not defined by what you accumulate. It is defined by the lives you improve. And empathy is the tool that allows you to do both. If you believe you deserve more in your financial life, the link below in the first comment is for you. So, did you like this video? Then help us out. Like, comment, share, and turn on the bell after subscribing to the channel.